He's got a freaking massive sword, let me tell you. In today's video, we are going to be ranking all of the Skyward Sword bosses. And let me tell you, there are some goated ones in this game. I'm not going to spoil which one's my favorite, but let me tell you, he shines like no other. This game is not without its flaws. There are very many flaws with this game, especially the controls, and that makes the very awkward. I don't want to dilly-dally any further. I want to get right into this. We are going to start with our first encounter with Ghirahim. He is the antagonist of the entire game, an absolute baddie. You get to realize his power. He lets you off with a warning, but he won't let you off with a warning for too long because he's coming back for you. Teaches you how to use your motion controls a little bit more proficiently. Very cool start, but not him at his peak. I will put him, let's just say B tier. Very good. Skaldura. This little rolling beast is one of my least favorites in the entire game. I actually don't particularly like this fight that much. It actually tripped me up for some stupid reason. I don't know why. I didn't realize he wasn't taking damage from the bombs. I had to run down to him and hit him. He was pretty annoying. I did not like him that much. Skaldura, D. One that I did like because it utilized the motion controls in a good way. His name is Moldarak. And then later on in the game, he kind of became an ordinary enemy, which is kind of cool. I like when they implement them like that. You do fight a few of them throughout the game. This is definitely a really cool boss. I love the claws. I like the design. I like the theme music. Relatively challenging at the point. I like it. A, imprisoned. This one is the first encounter. Not terrible. Really easy on its first encounter. I would give this, say, a C. Just kind of boring, kind of monotonous. And the fact that there are 3 of them is really sad. It's like not that good. The way it ties in with the seal and Zelda is probably the most interesting part of the Imprison, but still just not a fun battle. Feels more like a chore than an enjoyable boss. Moving on. The shining armor is what I was talking about at the beginning of this video. His name is Coloctus. We have our first tier. This is peak Skyward Sword. This is the best. This is probably the best boss battle in Zelda, or at least up there for me. I would put this next to Twinrova, next to Ganondorf, Breath of the Wild. Really good boss fight. His arms start falling apart, the way his armor looks, the way his design is. S tier work for the Nintendo team on this one. This is undisputed. Nobody is going to argue this, but people might argue my imprisoned Mark II, our second encounter, worse than the first. It's stupid. I hate it. Now he's got hands. Bruh, get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. Let's move on to Tentalis. Everybody knows that I love using the bow on everything. If you ever watch my live streams, shameless plug, I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll know that I love the bow. You'll know that I love the bow in every single game, and that is not an excuse to rank this low. It's a fun fight. A gimme win was not challenging at all. One of the easiest boss fights in the entire game, I will say. I enjoyed myself shooting it in the eye. It was gamer. I was going full epic gamer mode, so I'll put it in A. Let's move on to Ghirahim fight number 2. He amps it up a little bit. I would say this is the natural progression. He will be moving from B tier to A tier with this one. We will put him right at the top of A tier. It was at the end of the Fire Sanctuary. The temple was good. He was good. Not quite on the level of Coloctus, so I can't put it up there. Bylosite is our next victim. We take him down with ease. Not my favorite. I'm going to put him in C. Here is where I'm going to differ from the other two imprisoned fights because of the act with Groose. He shows a lot of growth and he really wants to do good and help the world be saved from Girahim and the imprisoned. The imprisoned cannot make it to the Temple of Time. I think Groose really holds this part up. I'm going to put it in B tier, top of B tier, above Girahim Fight 1. Now Girahim Fight 3. This was epic. You start on pillars and you work your way down to the ground where you have your final battle with Girahim. It is epic. I really enjoyed myself with this one. Don't hate me, bruh. I'm putting it in S tier. Now, let's move on to our honorable mentions. These are enemies that I thought deserved a shout in this game. My favorite side mini boss was LDOO2G Skirvo. I needed to read that one because weird name. He is the robot in the middle of the pirate ship. It was epic. We kick him off the boat. It was so cool. I really enjoyed this one. I had to include it in this because it is so highly rated for me. Just the atmosphere of this was really cool. I am going to put it at the top of A tier. It is that fun. Another honorable mention that I really enjoyed fighting was the Stallmaster. These are like stall foes, but they grow 2 more arms. You need to be a little bit more precise with these guys. You have to hit them in a certain direction to do damage, or they will counter you and hurt you. They do a lot of damage. These guys are really cool. B tier. And Levias, the protector of the sky. I thought this guy had presence. Kind of a cool mention here. I really thought he was very aesthetic. And sadly, I would rank him above some of these bottom tier boss fights. I was trying to build a little bit of anticipation for this last one. Demise. Your final battle within Skyward Sword. He is formidable. You've been hearing about him throughout the game. Girahim really wants to resurrect this fool. He does a fantastic job with building a presence. He has so much presence. I started getting anxiety in my chest just thinking about Demise. His glowing hair, his massive sword. He's got a freaking massive sword, let me tell you. Clip it, take it out of context. I don't care. Demise is an S tier, through and through. Just look at him. How could you not rank him S tier? You have to go above Girahim round 3. I think this is the best, well-balanced list I could possibly make. This was really good fun. Our S tiers are comprised of Coloctus at number 1. Number 2, we have Demise. And number 3, we have Girahim round 3. Those are easily a step above the rest. I don't think the others, they aren't even in the same class. That's why these stand above the rest. I wanted to give a special thank you to all of my channel members. Thank you to Tropius Forest, Asuda Hyuga, and Brad the Gamer. And if you want to get featured at the end of all of my long form videos, become a channel member today for $2.99 a month. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.